Hello and welcome back to Capping Corner. We are here to talk about the Travers Stakes on Saturday. My name is Rainier, and this is my co-host Sigi. And let's just get into it. Let's talk about the favorite Epicenter, who is 7-5 on the morning line. Now, I think Epicenter is the best 3-year-old in training. I know he didn't win the Kentucky Derby, but I thought he was the best horse in that race. And then he found some traffic problems in the Preakness. But without the traffic problems in the Jim Dandy Stakes, he easily beat early voting who won the Preakness, and he also beat Zandon again, as well as Tawny Port. What do you think of Epicenter?
Well, Epicenter is the fastest horse of the 3-year-old crop, of this crop. My only concern is this horse hasn't improving in the last races on speed figures standpoint, at least on the Bayer scale. He's always around 100, 100, 102, 101. He needs to move a bit forward. I know the other horses are a bit slower than him, but if the other horses move forward, they can beat Epicenter if Epicenter just gets stuck in low 100.
I'm okay with Epicenter's low speed figures because he got caught in traffic in the Preakness, so I don't think he had the chance to try his best. And in the Jim Dandy, I thought he had more. He came into the stretch run loaded, and Joel Rosario just handrode him to the finish line, but we'll see. Let's talk about a horse who is improving on the Bayer scale. His name is Cyberknife, and he's 7-2 on the morning line. Now, in Cyberknife's last race, he earned a 102 Bayer speed figure for winning the Haskell Stakes, and he beat horses such as Taiba, who is highly regarded in the Kentucky Derby, and Jack Christopher, who I think is a sprinter. What do you think of Cyberknife?
Well, Cyberknife is a horse with a lot of talent. He's improving each race. However, my only concern is the Haskell Travers double. The last horse to make that double was Point Given, and that was a long time ago. So it's hard to win the Haskell and Travers. For some reason, a lot of horses has failed. Like lately, American Pharaoh, Good Magic, and other horses like I think Irving. So this horse has a lot of talent. I think he's training really well. It seems his last workouts has been impressive according to social media. So he's in really top form, and he only needs to beat that stat. That stat is lethal, but the stats horses can break it.
I just don't believe his Haskell Bayer because suddenly he's as good as Epicenter, even though they were well behind Epicenter and Rich Strike in the Kentucky Derby. Taiba and Cyberknife were both way back in the field, and now they're like 100 Bayer horses in the Haskell. I just don't buy it, but who knows? He could prove me wrong.
Well, I don't consider too much the Kentucky Derby because that a lot of horses chase a brutal pace and faded. So that's not a race I don't consider at all.
Let's talk about Artorias. I probably said that wrong. Artorias, he's in post position number 5, and he's 9-2 in the morning line, trained by Chad Brown. And he won the Curlin Stakes. I don't remember how many lengths he won it by because I don't have the past performances, but I know Creative Minister was in third, and it concerns me that Creative Minister was also third today in the Smarty Jones Stakes at Parks. What do you think of Artorias?
Well, Artorias won by 4 lengths and 3/4, almost 5 lengths. That was a easy victory. This horse slightly raced and made a big jump from Maiden Special Weight to this curling stakes, and also moved forward in the Bayer scale. I think this horse is going to run. I like this horse to win. Even though he's slightly raced, I think he has a lot of room to improve. And I don't care about Creative Minister. Creative Minister has been struggling every race. Probably Creative Minister is a horse that does not like to win. And Artorias is a horse that with some tactical speed, he can see probably 4th or 5th, 4th, probably 5 lengths behind the speed. And I like the late punch, the late kick he had.
For me, I just think it's too soon for Artorias, but he is improving, and Chad Brown does know what he's doing. Let's move on to Zandon on the outside. He's in post 8, and Zandon was second in the Jim Dandy. He was third in the Kentucky Derby. My problem is that he keeps getting beat by Epicenter. Even though Epicenter didn't win the Kentucky Derby, he still finished in front of Zandon. So how is he going to beat Epicenter in this race?
Yes, I agree with you. Sandon is a good horse, but Epicenter always beat him. He beat him in the recent Star, he beat him in the Kentucky Derby, and in the Jim Dandy. So I can see him turning the tables this time.
He might be a horse, though, that you're going to use if you play a trifecta or superfecta. Now, here's a horse who won the Kentucky Derby, but nobody's talking about him. His name is Rich Strike, and he's 10-1 on the morning line. What did you think of Rich Strike's effort in the Kentucky Derby? Was his victory a fluke?
Yes, I think it was a fluke. I think he just took advantage of a crazy pace scenario. And this is a horse that needs a lot of pace. And I can see a really fast pace in this race. So I think he's going to struggle in this spot. He's training okay. He's some average workouts. But I can see a really hot pace in this race for him.
Let's talk about early voting before we close out this video. He's in post 7. Of course, Chad Brown trades him, and Jose Ortiz is aboard. He's 8-1 on the morning line, even though he's the Preakness winner. And my problem with early voting is that he had an uncontested lead in the Jim Dandy Stakes, and he just gave it up in the stretch run. The fractions were not fast, and what bothers me more than Epicenter beating him for the win is that he couldn't even hold second or third. Zandon and Tawny Port both passed him. What do you think of early voting?
Yes, he ran really bad in the Jim Dandy. That was a disappointment. But again, he's going to be the long speed. And I think he could rebound. Not sure he can win, but I think he's going to run better.
Do you like any of the big long shots for third or fourth? Maybe 8 Life Grand or Gilded Age, or I think those are the only two left.
Gilded Age is a horse that ran off the pace, and he was closing versus Artorias in the curling stakes. I can see him winning. Probably he could hit the superfecta at his best, but can't see him winning this race.
All right, let's close this out. I know Epicenter will likely be 3-5 or 4-5, but I'm just gonna single him. I don't know if I'm gonna use a horse underneath for an exacta, but if I'm playing a multi-race wager, I would just want to single Epicenter and just move on to the next race. How about you?
Well, at that price, I don't using him. I think there are some horses with some room to improve and be competitive and try to beat Epicenter. Those horses to me are Artorias. I know he's slightly raced, but if Chad Brown entered the horse in this race because he thinks the horse has a shot in this spot. And Cyberknife, I know the double, the Haskell Travers double is a tough task, but I really liked the way he won the Haskell. He was stuck on the inside and was able to close. And that's a thing that he usually never did it. And Taiba has all the clear to win, and Cyberknife ran from the inside and closed. I think this horse is going to improve again, but I'm using him with Artorias. I think I'm using both horses multiplayers.
Okay, maybe I'll put Zandon in second. That's our video covering the Travers Stakes. Thanks for watching us again after a long break. Do you have any closing words?
No, this is a race. It's a nice race on betting purpose, I think there is some chance to beat the favorite, and I'm trying with those two horses.
Okay, we'll see you next time. We'll talk about what race to analyze next. Maybe the Pennsylvania Derby. We'll see.
Okay, see you next time.
All right, see you next time.